The modern consensus on how this story ends focuses on a single inevitable collision. Monkey D. Luffy is sailing toward the empty throne, destined to topple the shadow ruler of the world, Emu. On the surface, Emu represents the logical finish line. As the person responsible for the Great Cleansing and the erasure of the Void Century, their defeat would theoretically restore balance to the world. However, placing Emu at the very end of the narrative chain creates a problem for Marshall D. Teach. It reduces Blackbeard to a secondary threat, a hurdle to clear before the real final boss appears. This setup ignores the consistent logic of the series. The D clan is the engine of history. Relegating the most prominent D antagonist to an opening act for a world government official feels like a structural mismatch. If Blackbeard is meant to be the dark mirror to the protagonist, then Emu's current position at the top of the hierarchy might be a distraction from a much older, more personal conflict. Recent excavations of the lost history suggest Emu is less of a mastermind and more of a ghost who stepped into a power vacuum. She didn't start the War of the Void Century, she interrupted it. To understand what Emu is actually hiding, we have to look past the modern world government and toward the original titans of the ancient era. The name buried beneath 800 years of myth and sea shanties is Davy D. Jones. In the era before the seas were divided, he wasn't a legend, he was a ruler of the deep. The records indicate that the final war we are waiting for actually began centuries ago, not between the world and a king, but between two brothers of the D clan. The Void Century was defined by a civil war. This wasn't a rebellion of the many against the few, but a binary struggle for the future of the bloodline itself. Joy Boy led the first faction. A man of laughter, he saw a world without borders, shattering the chains that bound the seas. His brother, Davy D. Jones, sought the opposite. He looked at the same world and saw a kingdom to be ruled through shadow, ambition, and total dominion. Their battle reached a world-shaking stalemate. The two titans were so evenly matched that neither could yield, leaving the planet caught in an ideological deadlock that lasted for decades. This unwinnable war between freedom and control is the true foundation of the series, a struggle that was never resolved, only paused. During this era, Emu was a subordinate. She walked in the shadow of Davy D. Jones, observing the brothers and waiting for a moment of weakness. Emu waited for total exhaustion. As the brothers reached the end of their world-breaking duel, she struck while they were defenseless. With the legends gone, she built the current world order over their names, silencing history itself to protect her position. The plan was almost perfect, until Nefertari D. Lili, a queen who had originally served under Davy Jones, chose to side with Joy Boy's vision in the aftermath. Lili scattered the Poneglyphs across the world, creating a map of truth that would survive Emu's censorship. These stones were designed as a countdown. They ensure that even if the brothers fell, their war would eventually find a way to resume in a new age. The mechanism of inherited will serves as a bridge for that unfinished business, carrying the weight of the Void Century into the modern era. Monkey D. Luffy mirrors the ancient profile of Joy Boy, from his defiance of authority to the specific rhythm of his laughter. Marshall D. Teach mirrors Davy D. Jones. He operates through the same darkness and chaos, driven by an ambition that seeks to own the world rather than free it. The modern race for the One Piece is the re-emergence of that fractured bloodline. Luffy and Blackbeard have spent this entire journey unknowingly preparing to finish a duel that was interrupted 800 years ago. This recontextualizes the fight against Emu. Removing the world government is the necessary cleanup required to clear the board of a squatter who has been holding the throne for 8 centuries. Emu's fear isn't based on a political rebellion. It's based on the realization that the original Titans have returned to reclaim their narrative. When Emu is finally removed, Luffy and Blackbeard will be the only two left standing. The interruption will end, and the ancient battle between brothers will finally reach its natural conclusion. The ultimate finale of the series isn't about a pirate treasure or a new government. It is a battle to decide the very definition of freedom.